All right, guys, Shotty T here with another video. Um, gonna go over the wager results of the championship. So we're gonna see how things went for us. Well, actually, I think this was the semifinals. So the first prediction. Well, first of all, here we go. So it looks like the research did pay off. So the person that was the quote unquote underdog did win. So it helps to do your research when you look at total hero power. So obviously that's going to come into play in the final stage. So go ahead and claim that dollar for being in the minority that time. And of course, this was more clear cut. So what's going to happen is that in the finals, you're going to have this guy go against this guy. So I'm just going to do my early predictions. I think the other guy had like 188 million total power. So let's see what this person has. Total hero power 207. And the highest hero, I think the other person had 8.8. This one has 9.3 and it's DVA. Now, that might be a little tricky because Tesla has the class advantage against DVA. Let me see if he has other people in this top list here. This person could have a stacked roster for all we know. But I think I'm still probably going to pick this guy to win despite him having a class disadvantage with the top champ. He could always move his weapons around if he really wanted to win, so we'll see. And I'm pretty sure being in the championship from his perspective, with a lot of stuff that's on the line, I'm pretty sure he wants to win because there's some great prizes for winning this whole event. Only thing we get are dollars. But anyway, so gonna do a correction on one of the updates that I talked about earlier this morning. So I was able to play around with some of the stuff that I was kind of had a hard time figuring out what it says. So number 8, I think I made it more complicated than what it was. You can now see which squad each hero belongs to in the hero list. So depending on how you read it. So all that means is that when you go to your champion list, it has a number next to them. It used to did not have it. So now it tells you which squad your members belong to. So you can see those first people on the first row, they're all on my first squad. And then Murphy rounds it out. And then you see the rest of them are 2s. And then you'll see Schuyler and Morrison. So, and as you see currently, Mason, I do not have him in the squad. He's kind of a flex guy because sometimes I'll put him in the last squad just for marching purposes. And then sometimes I'll put him in the first squad for the monster event that happens in the middle of the map random times throughout the day. I think I did this. I think I did that already. If not, it's probably too late anyway. Yeah, I want to say I did this. Yes, I did do this. Okay, I almost panicked. I said I can't do that twice in a row. So, but what I'm still going to do is kind of tell you, I guess, show you what my lineups are. So, what I have found through trial and error, my best lineup, and of course, disclaimer, it does depends on how many stars you got, but weapons like the gears and stuff, you can always move that around. But when it's all said and done, if all are equal, in my opinion, this is probably the best lineup you can put out there. Now, of course, whenever I put the proper weapons on the aircraft unit, that could play a factor, but skill points do make a little bit of a difference. Like my skill points for Schuyler are pretty low, 20, 15, and 15 compared to my tank heroes. Like I got him at max, and then 20 and 25. So that does make a difference. And then Kimberly, for example, Kimberly 33, 25, and 20, and got her at max. That's why she's on the top team. So skill point does make a difference as well. And of course, I'm working on Lucius, so but that's gonna always be, I guess, a little bit of a deficit. But that's just the way I have it, mainly because, and it's really how the game is dictated. Most people have tanks as their primary unit. So yeah, that would mean it would probably be logical to have all aircraft. But that's why I have DVA, only because she has that exclusive weapon. And then I always also when I do these lineups, I think about the 3 versus 3 arena as well. So I like to be as balanced as possible, so that way I don't have to do a whole, because what your team is what it is. So that's why you still want to focus on your main squad, especially if you're a low spender or free to play. You want to definitely focus on your main squad, and you probably won't have as much of a flexibility to like upgrade weapons on everyone, but you can obviously work your way towards that. So you want to always prioritize your first march. And of course, if you subscribe monthly to the game, you'll have the fourth march. But the fourth march really is not necessary. It's more of a luxury. Actually, if it was up to me, I would do without it. It's just that it helps. It gives you the VIP unlock unless you want to spend 10,000 diamonds to renew it monthly. Because that's really what it boils down to. Just keep activating the VIP. I'd rather spend a little bit than spend 10,000 diamonds, because those diamonds are more valuable to me than, I guess, $20 or $25 a month. So, but anyway, so but you want to prioritize your main march. But I'm just kind of give you an idea. You can't. But if you want to focus on your aircraft, because when I first started on the game, it was nothing but tanks, and the aircraft was lacking until Morrison arrived and Lucius later arrived, because really all you had was DVA and Carly. And I mean, DVA was pretty solid, but you had to prioritize your tanks for synergy purposes. But if you're getting on the game and you want to be different, I would recommend putting your aircraft unit together and putting that as your main march, because that does put you a long way in the meta of the game, especially when it comes to the arena. And then the missile squads, like I said, they're harder to develop, because the only person that you can get from the ticket store currently is Swift and Tesla. Now Tesla, he's a god. He's god mode tier, but Swift is terrible. He's the worst missile attacker. But Fiona, was it not Fiona? Is it Fiona? Yeah, Fiona. She's a pretty solid attacker. She's similar to DVA with her skill, but she's the missile variety. But of course, all missiles have the class disadvantage against tanks. And again, tanks, more people have tanks more than anything. So if you have a missile squad, you don't want to have that as your permanent squad. But if you get like, I imagine fully stacked people on the game that have 5 stars everywhere at max level and max gears, when they try to get to the upper levels of arena, when you see a bunch of aircraft attackers and defenders, they'll probably put their best weapons on all the missiles and use that to move up the chart and kind of just keep fighting periodically to maintain their position. But it's a lot of maneuvering of weapons and stuff, and that's a lot of maintenance. So, but to keep it simple, either focus, if you're more free to play or low spender, your best squad is probably going to consist of your missile teams. Like, so going to this here, looking at the first row of champs, and just going to go one by one. Kimberly, DVA are in the ticket pool. You can buy them if you want to get more shards, but they are in the ticket pool. Murphy, of course, you get him from the very beginning of the game. Carly, Tesla, all in the ticket pool. And then on that third row, you have Marshall, that's on the ticket pool. So that's a solid foundation. Now, Williams, if you're in the Crimson Plague season, he's in that ticket store, but we're done with Crimson Plague on our end. But I was told that when this new season starts, he will also end up being in that regular recruit ticket. Unfortunately, Stedman is still pay only to get him. Lucius is pay only. Morrison is pay only. Like if you want to get them just to start off, it's only $5. Now when they first come into the game, they might be at like $19.99, where you have a package where you can get them pretty much up to 3 stars. So it's a better value when they first come in the game if you want to do that. But if you just want to get them just to get them, it's only $4.99, and then you can use your generic shards to rank them up, or you can just keep purchasing them $5 a day for 10 shards at a time. But that does add up. I wouldn't recommend doing that. So Morrison is there. Same thing with Adam. He's pay only. Shyler, she's also in that same season, the Crimson Plate season ticket with Williams. So, but again, she will also be in the regular recruit ticket store, I heard, in this upcoming season. Same thing with him. I was told that this new season he will be in the ticket store. I think it'll be like a second type of ticket store. But as of right now, he's pay only. She is pay only. Of course, Mason, for most people, he's probably still a purple champ. But once you get into season 1, the Crimson played like the second week, he is available to be a legendary champ as long as you got him at 5 stars. All right, and you'll be able to convert. And I think Violet will eventually be able to qualify for that as well. I heard, because she was voted as the next purple champ to be converted to a 5-star champ. And then, of course, this guy, he is also in the ticket store. And, of course, all of these are in the ticket store. So, but if you want to focus on the squad that has good attackers, and I talked about this in other videos, Richard is probably the best attacker of the bunch. And I heard some good things about Farhad, because he has some skills similar to Kimberly with the missiles. The more stars you get for him, as you can see there at the bottom, 4 stars will add 2 more missiles. So that'll give like 8 random missiles that he'll throw out that deals physical damage. So sometimes that could be an advantage. So you got him, Farhad, Venom, I heard was a good attacker. And then he's okay. He has a stun factor. And then your best attackers, your best defenders are going to be Violet. Scarlet by far. Violet is decent. She's probably the best attacking defender. I heard that she has good defensive skills, and he has pretty good defensive skills from the tank and the aircraft class. But for the most part, Sarah, Black Brass, Monica are mostly useless. I mean, Monica has some use, giving you more loot, but you don't have to have her on your team to get more loot. So, and of course, as I mentioned before, the blue champs are just meme champs in the game. So they're just there to do meme stuff and get you some points for versus. So, but yeah, that's how I would construct a team, especially if I don't have as much of a budget on the game or completely free to play. So focus on your main squad. Weapons can be formed in this store here in the Gear Factory. If you get this to level 20, you'll be able to unlock the legendary gear that you can use the blueprints on. And again, I talked about blueprints in another video. And just continue to merge those things together, so that way you can form more of the yellow gear, because you don't want to create nothing but yellow gear when you're developing in the game. So but yeah, so make sure you take advantage of that. Get those last round of betting in for tomorrow if you're in this season, of course. But other than that, guys, let me know what your team looks like. Who is your main squad? Or if you what would be your ideal starting lineup? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification.